What it do, YouTube? This is your boy Sherry Speaks. Before I get anything started, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that like and subscribe buttons for my boys Millaboy Gaming and Heemz Gaming. They do gaming and live streaming. You might even catch your boy up in there kicking some ass alongside it. Alright, tonight's episode of Arrow. This is actually a pretty good one I've ever seen in the entire series. Season 7, episode 19, titled Spartan. We actually learn how John actually got that code name, Spartan. It was pretty much a code name for an operation that his stepfather, the Colonel Stewart, so not Colonel, but General Stewart, gave him while he was in the military. And we actually learned to come to find out actually that the General himself is actually John's stepfather. Now, mind you, John hit a setback, and he reluctantly, he reached out to him. He didn't want to reach out to his stepfather because for years, John, believed that his father's death was due to his stepfather leaving his father behind. But come to find out that's not true. In fact, it was actually told the opposite way around. His father died in combat, taking 2 Marines with him. And his stepfather, the general, came in at the very last second and saved everyone else, the rest of the battalion. And unfortunately, he was unable to save John's father. But the fact that his father died an actual hero is what the general wanted John to know and remember most of all. And they actually do patch it up after they actually get kidnapped by the Ninth Circle and actually end up getting tortured, actually. And actually was a really cool thing. Actually, what the Ninth Circle was after was a nuclear weapon known as Sigma 6 that they created. It was very top secret, very confidential, mind you. And so that whole thing. But the introduction of John's stepfather, was not a really good one, as I mentioned before, because, he looked at John's career decisions or decision spirit as very minuscule, seeing the fact that he saw John being, in the government, having a high ranking position in the government. I'd say that Argus wasn't, that, but he saw his stepson doing more, his son doing more, and unfortunately, John just didn't want to go through with that, and the team ended up actually saving, John and the general, obviously, but that doesn't come without, it's fair share of losses. How Dante pulled this off, man, was actually rather interesting because he actually pulled up to Felicity and Alena while they were working on Archer. Alena, was telling Felicity how, a friend of hers working at Magnus Tech, said, look, why don't you just pitch, your Archer Tech? Maybe this can be Archer can be bigger than anything. It can be global. It can be bigger than what it is right now. So while they're talking about that now, they're going to expand Archer. In comes Dante, takes Archer, uses it to his foundation to find Sigma 6. Obviously, that causes Felicity and the to actually halt production on even creating another Archer tech, which I think is going to kind of rub Alena the wrong way. And then it might actually sour down their friendship, actually. But we end up finding out that Emiko was actually working with Dante to catch Sigma 6. But mind you, Oliver's had some very strong words for her to digest, saying, listen, like, Dante's the one who killed your mother. And we learned why, as Emiko actually killed Dante, we learned why Dante did that. It's because he wanted her to be appointed and take control of the Ninth Circle in case he actually dies. Because remember, Dante brainwashed Emiko since she was like a little kid because her mother was the only family that she had, opposed to Oliver's father, who was just being who he was. And so when Dante killed his mother, he covered his tracks, obviously, and brainwashed Emiko into thinking that, Robert, her actual father, Oliver's father, killed her mother. Only come to find out that Dante did it. And so, Emiko did what she had to do. She put arrows in that motherfucker. With his dying breath, he said, I did that to make you strong, so that way you can lead the Ninth Circle. When she ended up killing him. So we'll see next week. A lot of stuff goes down. 2 missing bodies, I guess, in SCPD go down. Pretty much Emiko or somebody else frames Oliver for doing it. We see him sitting down in interrogation room along with Felicity. The detectives thinking that Felicity's covering for Oliver, and Oliver meeting up with someone in like this John Wick-esque type of chapel or whatnot, saying like, what do you want? So maybe that might be Emiko, who knows. This has been your boy Sherry Speaks. So I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you guys enjoy this tonight's episode? Let me know in the comment section below, as always. If you guys have any ideas as to what videos you guys want to do next, let me know in the comments section below. I was welcome. I was will be. Peace and love.